Massachusetts, Ms. Trahan for 5 minutes of questioning.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Like all of my colleagues, I hear from people across my district who are exhausted by having to make impossible financial decisions about their health care. While a handful of massive corporations post record profits and their top executives take home record pay, Republicans have destabilized hospitals and families with their biggest health care cut in American history and their failure to extend the ACA tax credits with no alternative plan to bring costs down. At the same time, the private insurance market itself has become deeply consolidated, and that consolidation is a major reason costs remain so high. Sitting before us are the executives from 4 companies that together control about 50% of the commercial insurance market. Not exactly a depiction of a healthy, competitive system. It's a system of haves and have-nots, where market power is concentrated, competition is weakened, independent providers are squeezed out, and families are forced to pay more. The lack of real checks and balances is bad for patients, it's bad for innovation, and it's bad for affordability. And to show what this level of consolidation looks like in maybe a more familiar context, because your business is deeply complicated, let's just step outside of healthcare for a moment. Imagine if in the auto market, one dominant company didn't just sell car insurance, but they also owned the dealerships, controlled all the repair shops, and ran the claim system, meaning one company would be selling the car, steering the repairs, and setting the price at every step. Independent shops would struggle to survive, consumer choice would shrink, innovation would be stifled, and basic economics tells us that prices would rise, not fall. Yet in healthcare, we've allowed insurance to buy up doctors, pharmacies, and critical infrastructure and build exactly this kind of vertically integrated ecosystem. If one car company sold the insurance, owned the dealerships, controlled the repair shops, and ran the claim system, regulators would immediately worry about steering, self-dealing, and higher prices. So I'll just kind of throw it out into the ether. Can anyone on this panel explain why consumers should believe healthcare is the one industry where this kind of corporate structure lowers costs instead of raising them? I posed this question. It's a tough one, and it's obviously volunteered, because peer-reviewed research consistently shows that provider consolidation drives higher prices, especially for commercially insured patients. And those higher prices show up as higher premiums, higher deductibles, higher out-of-pocket costs, and higher overall spending. When an insurer owns the provider it pays, it can set internal reimbursement rates instead of negotiating in a competitive market. And that kind of consolidation has been shown to raise prices for the same services. Now, United Healthcare is the country's largest private insurer and owns roughly 90,000 doctors through Optum, meaning a growing share of premium dollars are circulating inside the same company instead of lowering premiums or providing rebates to patients. Mr. Helmsley, as my colleague from Pennsylvania mentioned, United Health determines the reimbursement rates paid to Optum-owned physician groups, and those rates that you set are inside the same corporate family, hidden from regulators, hidden from competitors, patients, us. So, Mr. Helmsley, when United owns the insurer, the doctors, the pharmacy benefit managers, and the care delivery system end-to-end, where exactly is the competitive pressure supposed to come from to keep prices down?
Thank you for the question. I think it's an important area to clarify. The structure of that is in response to the marketplace to actually drive more value and drive cost down by integrating and allowing these elements of healthcare services to actually serve the consumer better. There is a great deal of oversight and regulation on the establishment of pricing within an organization like ours. All the sponsors of benefits evaluate and can look at those prices.
So respectfully, the claim that competitive pressure is keeping pricing down or that regulation is keeping down is undermined by the fact that the Department of Justice is actively investigating United Health over how its physicians and insurance divisions interact, including interviewing former Optum doctors. And the bottom line is this. When the same companies control the insurance, the doctors, and delivery of care, competition just breaks down and families pay more. What's clear right now is that this system is working very well for corporate profits, but this committee has a responsibility to fix a system that today isn't working for patients. Thank you. I yield back.